Hey everybody, it's Trigger Bar Philosopher. Welcome back out to the channel. Today we got a great episode. We're going to be continuing on our testing in 10mm. We're going to be shooting some buffalo bore 180 grain jacketed hollow point. Should be a good time. Let's get to shooting. Okay, well, my usual setup is kind of all covered in snow right now. So I usually like to set up on some of those shooting tables in the back there. But so we're going to do a little bit on the back of the truck today, discussion. So as we get going, as many of you know, and I've seen on previous episodes, I really like my Smith & Wesson M&P 10mm folding pistol carbine. It really is just a fantastic. They have a great buffer system. It's very soft shooting for relatively, especially even for some of those hot loads at 10mm. You can feel them, but it's really an enjoyable rifle at this point. You have some things set up. I actually have a pick rail more to the back, have that on it, and I have a new charging handle on it that just make the gun a little bit more. I'll put at the top what those the names of the companies that I ended up going with. But yeah, it's a great gun. And so I'm thinking like, hey, this would be a great gun because it folds up so small and compact. Wouldn't it be great to have this in a little pack and your pistol with it? Well, 10mm is a pistol round. So definitely, what 10mm to go with it? Well, it takes Smith & Wesson M&P mags. And so we had to go with the Smith & Wesson M&P. And I did that once before and it was horrible. It didn't really work for a variety of reasons. We had some poor quality control going on at Smith & Wesson. But now we have one that is working, and we have a whole series of videos on what it took to get this sucker working. Particularly, I believe it was the mag springs, but I also did polish the feed ramp and put in a heavier guide rod and spring. Heavier spring and new guide rod so that it can handle the higher pressured rounds a little bit better and more reliably. So we're going to be testing one of those out today, and I haven't had these on the channel for a little bit, but we're going to be testing some heavy 10mm from Buffalo Bore. It is their 180 grain jacketed hollow point, supposed to be doing 728. My guess is that's out of a 5-inch. We have a 4-inch model, and we have a 16-inch model. So we're going to put that to the test today. I've got my gel setup. I've got 2 layers of t-shirt, 2 layers of denim, 1/4-inch medium density fiberboard, 2 inches of gel before that, much like Gun Sam. He uses 4, I use 2, but it's his test setup. And then after that, we have 32 inches of gel beyond that to try and catch the bullet and see what kind of performance. We are looking for expansion. I'm thinking about this on more about 2-legged critter defense with these expanding bullets. As you know, with pistol rounds, the more expansion you get, the wider the diameter it does, the more damage it does. With rifle rounds, they get into a whole bunch of different dynamics that we don't often see in pistol rounds, although sometimes with 10mm and especially out of the 16-inch, you can get into that rifle speed and velocity and get the damages like fragmentation and other things that's going on with it, and expanding beyond what the temporary cavity has elastic properties for. So with that said, today we're going to put it to the test. We're going to go down, we're going to test it out, see how it performs. Should be a good time. Let's get shooting. All right, well, we got the 4-inch pistol out, and we have our test setup downrange. We're at about 5 yards from the target, and so we will get the slow motion video started. Let's see what we can get. All right, I think we got that. Little low, too bad. And on our chronograph, we got 1290 feet per second. That's pretty good. We see that our bullet came in here, wrecked my whole setup. Now, I usually have a little contraption that holds it on, but what I found with 10mm is it expands the gel so much, it destroys my contraption, so I kind of have to free float it in here. So this is what it did to the medium density fiberboard, is nailed that spot down at the bottom. We did come in, fortunately we didn't scrape along the bottom, but we were just along the bottom inch. Let me see if I can flop this so that you can just get a better look and see where we're at. we got out basically to 18 inches because I'm suspecting that this bounced back just a little bit. But as you can see, just wowzers, just did a fantastic job in there. That bullet is very well expanded. Let me try and get that out so we can take a look at it. Oh, that did a fantastic job here. It's just looking fantastic. Look at that. Let's see what kind of expansion we got on it. We got 0.6. Rotate it around to get the widest, 0.65, 0.66. Yeah, 0.66 is about the widest that we got it at. That's pretty good expansion. Oh, I dropped it. All right, well, we have the 180 grain buffalo bore jacketed hollow point. This is actually my second attempt. I shot way too low on the first attempt. We're gonna try to shoot it higher. You really just can't see much. It didn't perform the way it needed to. We got 1533 in the velocity, so we'll see what we get this time, but it's just not even worth showing that, I don't think. All right, that's a much better shot. Let's go down and check it out. This is the wound track inside in front. The mat is massive. Now, ironically, it went just a little bit less distance than the pistol round did, but they both got, when we had our 2 inches of gel before and 1/4 inch medium density fiberboard before, it got 16.5 inches. Both the other one got maybe 17 inches and 18. It bounced back, but that's just fantastic. And the size of the wound track difference is I mean, it's pretty impressive. Definitely got a little bit more fracturing of the round, just beautiful fluted spiraling cuts. I didn't mention it, but we got 1550 on our velocities for that shot. Let me just flip this around so you can get better views of this. The first one that didn't do so well is under my table. Let me just show you that. That's this right here. And then the one behind it is the better shot. But again, I think that's a pretty good view. This is another view of the two. And here's a final one there. I think that's pretty cool. That's pretty awesome in that. Yeah, the gel blocks are a little messy at this point. I got medium density fiberboard all over the table and everything. What I forgot to show was look at the size of that hole that it made in the medium density fiberboard. That's insane. This was with the pistol. This was the first shot with a rifle that I kind of missed. These are holes that I shot. It was from previous. These are 380 ACP holes next to it here. This is one that was a previous test. But wow, look at the size of that compared to the 380. That's insane. Well, we have 5 shots. We got the chronograph set up. We got the 4-inch. Got this 180 grain buffalo bore. We'll see how it performs. Got to take the mitten part off when you are going to shoot of these gloves. All right, check our session summary out. We had a min of 1291, an average of 1297, max of 310, extreme spread of 19, standard deviation of 7, that's great. Average kinetic energy of 672, that's pretty good. You know, I would love to see 700, but you know, 4 or 5 shot group, maybe it goes up, maybe it goes down, but that's great. That's really good loaded self-defense ammunition. A little bit less than what we saw recently from the Grizzly ammunition, but still fantastic. Why don't we test it out now with the rifle? Oh man, well, I'm editing and I have no footage of me shooting this on the FPC, but this is the data that I have on it. So we had an average of 1552 with 4 shots. I had no malfunctions, everything ran well. And we had 962 energy foot-pounds, pretty good. We saw a pickup of about 300 energy foot-pounds when we moved from the pistol to the rifle. That's pretty good. That's good ammo. Okay, we have 4 shots. We're gonna see how we do with accuracy. We are at 10 yards. I'm gonna turn this stupid camera on. I don't know if it'll do anything. We'll see. Oh boy, that was a big pull. Big pull. I don't like that. Run out of ammo, but I'll just go down and see what we did. Yeah, that's one of my worst shots out here. But again, I can't really feel my fingers at this point. So 1, 2, 3, and then that last one was the pull. That was disappointing. Okay, we're gonna see if I can't redeem myself with this FPC. Probably not, but that was embarrassing. Yeah, we redeemed ourselves. I'm just going to show you this walk. I had to get I backed up in here several times just trying to get the snow broken up. But it's not the easiest time filming out here today. Hands are cold. Those are all of my excuses. I mean, as it should, the rifle performed better than the pistol. I should have had another one up in there. That I just dropped it. I am starting to... like the tips of my fingers are numb. But the important part is that none of the bullets are going in sideways. This is a flyer and a big flyer, but that was definitely me. So we're not blaming the ammunition. That's why I like to see this, see where it's printing, see where it's shooting. It does feel like it's shooting a little bit left, or sorry, a little bit right than where I'm zeroed for with the other ammunition, but that's okay. You just re-zero it, but it's just important to know where it's shooting. Today we had from Buffalo Bore the 180 grain outdoorsman load from them. It's a good heavy load, and it is running at some hot speeds. We got close to 1,000 energy foot-pounds and almost to 700 energy foot-pounds out of the rifle and pistol respectively. I think that that's awesome. In my quest to find a good set of ammunition that does well out of the pistol and out of the rifle, I think both this and the Grizzly are performing very well, and I'm really happy to see that. What are your thoughts on this ammunition? Do you think that there is better out there? What's next for me to be testing? I think this is a pretty good one. I think Grizzly's pretty good. I wasn't as happy with the 155 grain Underwood out of my rifle. It did fine. It just started to break up and didn't quite get to where I wanted it in terms of penetration depth, but it certainly had a lot of kick to it in terms of what it was doing in the gel block. I think that this is going to be an incredibly potent 1-2 punch with the pistol and the rifle using the same ammunition, same magazines. Really excited for this setup. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Hope everyone has a great week, and let's get to shooting.
From pistols to rifles, we'll take on the best. Review and each weapon, put them to the test. With revolvers and shotguns, we'll break it all down. The Second Amendment protects from the crown. Living for freedom.